Good morning. This is Mr. Courtney with a little angle review before we get into triangles. And I just wanted to remind you that when you do your notes, please do not forget to put all of your information. Room 801. Haha, you get it? Get it? Anyway, today I'm going to talk to you about angles. There are really many different types of angles, but the four that we're going to talk about are here. The first is acute. It's very cute. The second is right. It is very right. The third is obtuse. It is very obtuse. And the fourth is straight. It's very straight. And the reason I'm making a joke about that is because honestly, I think that the names of the angles speak for themselves. I mean, acute literally has the word cute in it, and cute usually means small. And right, this isn't the other kind of right, W-R-I-T-E, but this is right as in right or wrong. And so this angle has to be right, has to look right. And there's only one angle that I think about when I think of right angles, because that's the right way to build your house. And then obtuse, I think is easy because the word obtuse actually means to be a little too much. For example, if you're an obtuse person, you probably are a little bit dramatic. You might be a little over the top. So an obtuse angle is a little more than a right angle. And of course, a straight angle, I think, kind of speaks for itself. So let's take a look at a few of these angles, and I encourage you to take notes with me, okay? Are you ready? So the first one here, your acute angle, would be angles that are small, okay? Small angles, very small angles. Angles that on the inside have a very small number of degrees, okay? And they could go different ways. They could go backwards and forwards and all manner of things. And if any of this is difficult or confusing, make sure you go back to day 1 and look at my cousin's video about angles and degrees, okay? Because I'm assuming that you have seen that. If you haven't, you want to go back to day 1 geometry and study that video, okay? So they could go backwards and forwards, but they're cute. In other words, they're less than a right angle. And again, as we studied in class and in the video, a right angle can be shown with this little square inside because that means it's exactly 90 degrees. It's the right angle to build. So if I look at my door, it's got a right angle. There it is, right angle. If I look at the closet, it's got a right angle. If I look at the window, it's got a right angle. If I look at my picture here, it's got right angles. Everything around me's got right angles. My paper has a right angle. My computer has a right angle. My guitar does not have a right angle, just so that you know. Okay, but remember that right angles can go backwards and forwards. And the other thing to remember about them is that you can even do them cattywampus. You could do them turned sideways or any which way, as long as this in here makes a perfect square. And as per usual, you can see Mr. Courtney did not draw this very perfectly. It's kind of difficult holding the video camera while I'm doing that, but I guess I'm making excuses here, aren't I? But a 90-degree angle does have those perfect angles for building, okay? So if an acute angle is too little, in other words, it's less than 90 degrees. And if an obtuse angle is too much, in other words, it's bigger than 90 degrees. So what would that look like? Well, if I start with my right angle and I kick it up a little bit, just like my cousin showed you in the video, okay, then this angle would be a little more than 90 because 90 would be right about there. So what might this angle be? Well, it might be 100 degrees, okay, something like that. It might be 110. But it's not going to be 90, and it's not going to be less than 90. And I could even make it bigger. I could kick that angle out a little bit. And this angle might even be bigger than that. It might be 140 degrees. Okay. But it's going to be bigger than 90. It's obtuse. And remember that angles can go backwards and forwards. So for example, I'll draw this one going a little crazy here, but I could make an angle that goes like that. And this is much bigger than 90. Can you see? That would be maybe even 160, something like that. Okay? So now that we know acute and right and obtuse, what in the world is a straight angle? Well, it's really simple. A straight angle is a straight line. And the question is, how many degrees are in that straight line? And the answer is 2 of these 90s, because if I take a 90 and I put it together with another 90, I get 180. And so that is the measure of a straight angle, 180. Okay? And a lot of people like to think about, well, what about the other side of that, right? And that's also 180. And that's where you get 360 degrees. 180 plus 180 is 360, and that's how many degrees are in a circle. So there are your angles for today. Okay, and your task today is to go around your house. Okay, I want you to do a bit of a scavenger hunt. Okay, go around your house, and I want you to find as many acute angles, as many right angles, as many obtuse angles, and as many straight angles as you can. And I want you to make a list of angles. Okay, I want you to make a list. Don't forget to label them. Okay, so for example, and again, I'm sorry for my handwriting, I'm trying to film at the same time, but let's say, for example, I wanted to talk about my computer corner here. I could write down number 1, my computer corner, and I could say that this was a right angle, and I would say that that is 90 degrees. Okay, but what if I found a different type of angle, right? So let's try something different. Let's take my keys. So here's my keys, right? And let's take this key and this key. And if you look, and it may seem a little weird, but okay, you got to kind of use your imagination. If you look, there's an angle right there in those 2 keys. See that? And it's not a right angle, it's smaller than that. In fact, it looks like it's about half of a right angle, about 45 degrees. So in my notes, I could put number 2. I could put my keys. I might want to draw a picture of that. Okay. Just so that Mr. Courtney knows what the keys looked like, because I can't actually be there at the house with you, unfortunately. And I'm going to say that that is, of course, an acute angle. And this is the part where I have to kind of guess. Now, if you want to do a better measurement, go back to my Cousin Joe's video, and it will show you a little bit better about how you can kind of estimate the angles and their degrees. But I'm thinking that's about 45 degrees. And don't forget this little symbol right there means degree. Okay, so make that circle very small. Don't make it look like a 0 because it's not one. And make sure you put it up by the top of the number, okay? So make a list of angles. Go crazy if you'd like. I'm thinking as long as you do 10 to 20, I think that would be really cool. If you wanted to just go nuts, just don't drive your family too crazy. But I'm looking forward to seeing your notes in the comments section, or as always, you can upload them to Google Classroom, okay? You can also text them to me. All right, everybody, have a good day. Bye.